Good morning, Howard. How are
Um,
you?
I'm great. I'm great. So happy to be here with you.
Well, good. I'm glad you came to talk with us all today about the work that you do so everyone can begin to get to know you. You're a big contributor for our Soulful Treasures giveaway, and we
Uh-huh.
appreciate that. I feel like people are going to be probably somewhat inspired by your work. Um, I understand that your main work, your main body of work is life crafting. In fact, you've written
Correct,
the book
correct.
on life crafting.
Yes,
Create Your
that's
Genius
my
Life.
main correct. Yeah.
Yes, create the book is Create Your Genius Life,
Yeah,
Move
craft.
Beyond, pardon me.
Craft your genius life. Craft.
Oh, Craft Your
C-R-A-F-T.
Genius Life.
Craft your genius life.
So
Yes.
sorry, I
That's
said it
fine.
wrong.
No worries, but
Craft your
I'm just
genius
clarifying.
life, move beyond your limiting beliefs to fulfill your destiny. And that's available on Amazon. So you help people reveal their greatest value and unique contributions for their lives. Is that
Correct,
correct?
correct. That's correct. That is
Okay.
correct. Yes.
That's so interesting. I'm wondering what inspired you to do this work, or I always like to find out from people, what is your origin story? I mean, what set you on this path? Can you tell
Yeah,
us?
it's a really great question. The answer is that I was pursuing when I was young, I was pursuing a career in mathematics. So I had already had my master's degree. I was in a doctoral mathematics program. My aim was to complete it, become a university professor, teacher, and I was passionate about it, loved it, and it was a. But as you know, the universe had a little bit of a different plan for me. And so I discovered along the way, as I started to realize that there were other layers of me that I was discovering that I didn't initially know, I started to progress into this zone, this new mysterious zone that led me to study astrology in a serious way. Fortunately, there was an institute not far from where I was living at the time in Long Island, in Eastern Long Island. And I went to study there, and it was a very amazing experience because within a few months of studying the psycho-spiritual approach to astrology, I realized that I had kind of knew the material, and it was almost like a sort of a refresher course. And then slowly but surely, my actual real path started to open up for me. I started to realize that all the mathematics was great. It was a chapter one, of a long journey, but that there was this much bigger, more metaphysical, expansive framework for where I was going, what I was doing. And instead of teaching people, calculus, or I was going to be teaching people about awareness, consciousness, expanding their life, belief systems, and how to fulfill their potential and live true to who they really are, in their being, their divine being. And that kept evolving. So astrology was one big phase, but then there were other avenues, other teachers, other programs that and every time I studied something, it was kind of like another layer that got added into the bigger picture. And life crafting emerged over decades, in fact. Life crafting emerged as the overarching framework for all of this. So our focus is clarifying your soul purpose, your life purpose, and then making money doing what you love, which of course coincides with your greatest contribution with your own creative gifts and your own desire to impact quality of life.
Oh, what a journey. I think it's unique to you. It's incredible, but I think that many of us go through a similar kind of pathway
Yes,
where
there's
I
a
mean,
parallel. Yes,
the interests vary, and it's kind of they come to you. You don't go looking for them, you know. It's just suddenly, like I can remember going through those kinds of phases myself. First,
right,
it's near death experiences, and then it's past lives, and
right.
you just get led to these things. It's like the old thing they say about walking into the bookshop and having the book literally falls off the shelf
Right,
to you.
exactly. Exactly. The universe,
That's
I have a joke about it. the law of attraction never takes a vacation.
No, oh, that's quite true. Wow. So you pretty much took this pathway on your own. You didn't really find that you had big major influences other than the universe itself.
Well, I've had a lot of teachers along the way, a lot of mentors and teachers along the way, that served different played different roles with me. But
Hmm.
it's true to say that it was all generated from within. So it was all generated by my own inner desire to live authentically, true to who I am, express my truth, and learn whatever I needed to learn, master whatever skills I needed to master for each stage of the process, and
Hmm.
celebrate every win, no matter how small it may be. And that's, of course, what I teach others now. That baby steps add up, the little tiny baby steps add up to big giant forward leaps when you don't
Right.
even realize that's happening.
Yes. That can be very true. So when new clients come to you, do they really know what they're looking for, or do you actually,
No,
I mean,
well,
are they really
no, well,
aware of it? What?
sometimes they know what they're looking for, but I think more often their starting point is an awareness of what their current challenge or difficulty or
Right.
pain points are,
Right.
in their current situation. Like they hate their job, they're not making enough
Mhm.
money, they're not enjoying life, they're not being creative the way they want to be.
Mhm.
Certain relationships are no longer functioning the way they want them to be. It could be a wide range of things, but it centers around the theme of reinventing, somebody feeling a need to like reinvent themselves, although they don't always know that term, at the very beginning. They just feel
Right.
everything is chaotic and has to be revised, but they don't. So when they learn the term reinventing, then they start to, you know, they jump on that bandwagon and they say, yeah, that's kind of what I need to do.
Right. That's the idea that it's first it's just dissatisfaction, and I think, and they don't quite know
Correct.
until you can direct them and inform
And
them a little
sometimes it's
better.
very painful. Sometimes it starts out very painful,
Oh, I'm
emotionally,
sure.
emotionally painful, or yeah,
Yes, I'm sure, because they've gotten to that place where they're not sure. They may be stuck. They may be confused. You don't know
right.
what's happening in their life until you get into it. Right. So that sounds really wonderful that you're doing that, Howard. And I believe you've been doing this for a number of years, right?
Decades, in fact, decades.
That's what I thought. So I think I remember hearing you say you've kind of expanded into some other areas as well. Is that correct?
Well, what I think what's happened is, see, I'm a Taurus, and so Tauruses are good at collecting. They like to collect things. Usually, they collect artifacts or stones or whatever, coins or dollars or whatever it is, or gold. But I also collect tools and skills and uh, special, special abilities. And then I always look to see, well, how can I combine the new one that I just learned with all the other ones that I have? And I find the synergy that
Mhm.
exists between each of the different things that I'm adding on to the bigger picture. And I love that particular aspect of synergy, the unexpected discovery of magic in combination, in combining things that you never knew was going to happen.
Mhm.
That's really big.
It is big. I'm seeing it that way. I'm having a little trouble getting my head around it, but wow. So
I mean,
what would you say?
I can give examples if you're curious
Sure,
about.
give us an example. I think it will help us better
Well,
understand.
let's say a person realizes that they're just doing something in life that is not really them anymore. They've outgrown it, and they're ready to really discover what their true path is, or true calling. And so
Mhm.
we embark on this journey together of clarifying their life purpose. And there's a whole variety of techniques and tools we utilize for them to drop down into that more of a being place to discover what that is. Well, as they go along in that process, they're going to discover all kinds of goodies and all kinds of things of, that are amazing and fascinating and wonderful. But they're also going to hit up against fears and doubts and patterns emotionally otherwise that they never even knew were there before they even started the exploration or discovery. But once they get there, it's sort of like hitting a brick wall and they don't know what to do. And so then we start to use our belief tools, our tools for unraveling limiting beliefs at the subconscious level that are, underlying some particular patterns that have been going on for a while. And as we dismantle those, identify them, and begin to dismantle them through using various, proprietary methods we have, then all of a sudden it's like pop. And then there's another awakening, another awareness occurs. So that's an example of synergy between the belief tools and the exploration discovery methods. So they live in separate universes, but then when they're brought together, there's the amazing synergy of how one enhances the other.
Okay. All right. I can see that now. Hmm.
And then there's
And
also the synergy and between practical matters of earning enough money to pay the bills. Because many people are still stuck in, survival energy with
mhm.
not earning enough. And so that precludes them from really looking at the bigger picture or the deeper thing. And most coaches just wave their hands, oh, just go get a better job, oh, just go this or just go that. But that's all complete nonsense because people really need a really working strategy for their short-term cash flow earnings so that they can finally free themselves from the survival energy and begin to get into source energy and what we call their career playground. So we have a technology, we have a whole methodology for dealing with short-term income, short-term cash flow, which does not require revising your resume and going on more job interviews. So there's a whole part of life crafting that addresses that particular thing in a highly innovative way.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
Well, it sounds very comprehensive, your entire program does.
thank you, thank you. Yes, it is. And now
I
we're
know you've
adding
been,
new. I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I was just going to say now we're adding a game. Now we're adding a transformational game to the mix.
Now we're what? We're
We're
doing what
adding
with
a transformational
adding?
game, a
Oh,
game,
are
a
you
game.
referring to your space dice or?
No, no, I'm
No,
talking about
something
an
else.
actual game you can play online on a website.
Oh, well, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I mean, I don't know how much time we have, so I don't want to get too much into that because I know we should
Yeah.
focus on the giveaway or what our soulful treasures are. But and just as a little, side thing for people watching this, so we have a game. It's called the Promise Game. And it's
Promise.
and it's available on promisegame.com. So it's a very
Okay.
easy thing to remember. And just very briefly, without going into much detail, the game guides you to increase your ability to make and keep promises with yourself and others. And it guides you to break through all the barriers and obstacles that you've accumulated in life, getting in the way of making and keeping promises. And as you increase your ability to do that, your level of self-trust soars, and your ability to create trusting relationships with others soars, because trust is connected to being trustworthy. How do you become
Mhm.
trustworthy? Is by fulfilling the promises that you make. And so that explodes your whole entire world and reality. And it's super fun to play because in the game, you can't screw up. There's no way to lose the game or mess up in the game. So it's one of
I like
those
that.
foolproof things that you just soar and you keep changing and growing as you go.
What a great idea.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
this has been around. I've gotten the game. Was a gift from my guides way back in 2011. And the game was, I had a lot of clients playing it, but without technology. And then about 2 years ago, we started this process of creating it with the now available technology that we have.
Mhm, mhm. Wow, that's really very interesting.
It is. And once again, the synergy principle, the promise game dovetails with astrology, astro dice, all the various things that they all play together and they all work together and enhance each other. So that's the beauty of, again, life crafting as a synergistic program.
Okay, I see. Wow, that is a whole lot. I was going
Thank
to
you.
ask
Yeah.
you, I was going to ask you what your main passion is, because usually everybody has, yeah, I do this program, I do this kind of work too, I do, but everybody's got a, oh, but this is the thing that really lights me up. Do you have something like that?
I would say that it's not, I do, but it's not one of the modalities within our collection.
Okay.
I would say it's more the experience of the breakthroughs that people have. It's being present and witness and a
Mhm.
catalyst for the breakthroughs and the awakenings that people have, no matter what method a person gets to that point. It's just seeing them have those breakthroughs. That's the most satisfying.
Exactly. That's the one that is that's what does it for all of us who do this kind of work.
Exactly. That's why we do it. Yeah.
That's what feeds us, keeps us happy, and you know you're doing the right thing when you're getting all this great energy from doing all this hard work with people.
Yeah,
So,
a validation.
wow. Well, that's excellent. Yes, it is. It is. Okay, well, before we go to other things, I always like to ask an off topic, maybe a little bit more casual question, just so
Sure.
people can feel like they're getting to know you a little bit better. Okay.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So let's see. The question that I like to ask is can you tell us what makes you laugh and what makes you play and what makes you feel most alive?
Okay, well, the laugh part is actually simple because I laugh a great deal every day with pretty much everyone around me. So I
Mhm.
have this kind of thing. Say I have a team in the Philippines of these three women that are part of my team, and they do a lot of social media. They do all kinds of they do the projects like the Promise Game, and we have these Zoom meetings pretty much every day. And it's hilarious because every one of our meetings is like it's nonstop laughing. We were always teasing and playing and joking, but the amazing thing is we're so productive. We get so much accomplished while this sense of joyfulness is present. And with my local woman, who's Cynthia, who's my personal assistant, she and we work again. We do a lot of stuff for my home and whatever, but it's the similar energy of like teasing, laughing, playfulness,
Mhm.
and then getting it done, getting it done, getting it done. So it's kind of this beautiful, productive,
Mhm.
process, and yet we're enjoying it. Then the other answer to your question is I have two hobbies. One of them is classical music, but it's not just ordinary, just listening to music because I love music, and I grew up with my dad, humming melodies at the dinner table and quizzing me to see if I could guess what the piece was that he was humming. So that started that way. But I evolved to an audiophile where I became super interested in stereo, hi-fi stereo tool, components, and just getting better and better and better sound. So enjoying the music more as you keep going. So some
Yes.
people are audiophiles and not particularly music lovers, but I'm a music lover and an audiophile.
Mhm.
And the
Wow.
other hobby I have is fountain pens. I'm a collector of vintage and modern fountain pens with all kinds
Really?
of special nibs and inks and papers, and I do old-fashioned letter writing, handwritten personal letters to people like pen pals.
Mhm. Wow.
So those
That's
are
really
just two
interesting.
hobbies. And I
Yeah.
love the feeling of the sensation and feeling of putting ink, real ink on paper. It's a
Mhm.
very, and I wrote an article actually. It's on my LinkedIn profile about, and the title is "If you Want to Change Your Life, Get a Fountain Pen."
You highly recommend it. Hmm?
Yeah, I haven't written it. It's super, super fun. Yeah. And it's very nostalgic in the sense that it brings people back to a time when they all they could do was just express their real true feelings. There were no telephones, there was nothing. All you could do was just express the truth, put in writing, and it's something so special about that.
It is. Now that you mention it, it is. Yes. I don't think I want to give up my convenient modern day pens for fountain pen, but
No,
I
I
do
don't
get
I don't give up anything. I use all the modern tools to the
yeah.
extreme. I use AI, I use everything.
Right. I think I have more memories of being in school as a kid and using those fountain pens and having a little trouble with them. That's
Yes,
all.
they used to be leaky and they were messy and
Yes.
leaky and all that kind of
That's
stuff. Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking of. They leaked and, but it is pretty ink and it can be fun to work with. I do remember that much about it. So that's
Yeah.
very interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first I'm going to ask you, I know you have contributed a free gift to our giveaway.
Yes.
And I wondered if you want to go ahead and tell listeners about it so they can be looking for it when they enter um, the Soul Treasures giveaway as a participant or attendee. So, what is your?
I'd love to. I'd love to share about that. But first would like to share the underlying principle behind the gift, or like what the intention is to the gift. Okay.
Sure.
So I believe that in terms of personal and spiritual growth in life, the very most important first step for people to take is realizing that they're not alone, that they're unconditionally loved by spirit, God, universe, whatever name you like to call it. And there's a form of guidance and love and teaching available 24/7 all the time, whatever you're going through in life. And I believe that once you make the shift to really knowing that and feeling that inside you and really getting it and appreciating it and utilizing it, everything changes because now you're partners with God's spirit universe. You're no longer, out in the cold trying to figure everything out on your own. It's all like one big crazy thing. And you have a partner. And then if you combine that partnership with a real support system like we have in life crafting, a real community where people, really care about each other and they will work together, that becomes extraordinary and that becomes the foundation. So the way that the gift that I'm giving people along these lines is to learning about something called Astro dice. And Astro dice are these 12-sided cubes. I have them here. One has planetary symbols, one has zodiac signs, one has numbers from 1 through 12. They seem very innocent and almost even like silly and whatever, frivolous, whatever, but they're anything but. They are a remarkable and extraordinary tool of guidance and inquiry, which can be used anywhere, anytime, for any purpose whatsoever. And once you learn how to use them, then it's a complete paradigm shift in your reality. So the gift is two things. One, it's a PDF PDF guide on Astrodice or what Astrodice really are to introduce people. We have videos explaining what they are and also videos with stories of what people have experienced with them, including videos with me telling me 20, 30 years of my life and how I've used Astrodice. Okay. The second part of the gift is an opportunity to get a one-to-one session with me with the Astro Dice at a reduced cost. I mean, it's not expensive anyway, but we're offering an introductory thing so people could get started. And what I like to do is take any challenge or current difficulty a person is going through in life could be in any area of life. And we work together to formulate a question for the Astro dice, a really good, well-formulated question. And then what we do, it's either on a Zoom call or it could be in a local cafe. We ask the dice the question, and we get three symbols. We get a planet symbol, a zodiac sign, and then a number, which corresponds in astrology to planet sign house. Because if you look at a birth chart, you're going to see planet sign house for each planet, and works the same way. And this is where the magic happens, because I will first interpret the symbols separately. So people realize it's not hocus pocus. There's actual real method here. Then once we have the meaning of the symbols, we combine those meanings into a combination to answer the question that they ask. Invariably, it's a breakthrough moment. It's a moment of insight, awakening, and either the answer to their question is very straightforward and simple, beyond what they thought maybe was difficult or complicated. But then is where we go further, because then I will give them use some of my coaching skills interactively with the answer they got, in order to what I call peel the onion down, and go a little bit deeper into what is really the deeper issue, or the deeper question, or the breakthrough that they really want to have happen. And so we follow the natural organic flow. By the time we're done, 20, 30 minutes, they have a different, reality, a different perspective on whatever they're dealing with in life. It becomes an opening, like a portal, or an opening of new possibilities for them. Sometimes very pragmatic, extremely down to earth, problem solving. Excuse me. And at other times it's much deeper, where the dice, really encourage, deeper self-reflection, or working through emotional patterns, or overcoming something, or taking responsibility for something where you've been in sort of in an avoidance state, and taking that on. And it takes every possible, but it's always gentle, it's always loving, kind, it's always non-judgmental, and it's always empowering to you to move forward on your path. I use the Astro dice as the beginning of my relationship with clients, because it's the perfect place to start in a very casual, informal, innocent context where we can go forward. And then when people are ready to get serious, they will go further in with one of our programs, which could be an astrology consult, or it could be any one of our other things that we offer. But I think you could see how this is a fun and easy, natural way to get started.
Sure. Absolutely. It's almost like oracle cards, but actually totally different, but a similar concept, getting some
Yes.
guidance.
It's similar to Oracle, it's similar to Tarot, but what I find with the Astro dice is they tend to be much more concrete and more detailed than the answers that you get.
Very interesting.
Very
Okay.
specific and detailed, yeah.
Well, Howard, you clearly have so much experience and have helped a whole lot of people.
Thank you.
So as we close this interview today, I'm wondering if you have any special thoughts or words of wisdom you'd like to leave with those who are listening.
Yes, I do. I would say, if you are struggling with anything in life, or challenged by anything in life, keep in mind that the universe only gives you what you tolerate or put up with. So if you keep tolerating the struggle or just getting by, you'll probably keep getting the same. You have an opportunity here with the Astro dice to break through in a very easy and fun way, to expand your awareness, expand your knowledge, expand your skills in a fun way, and see something new that you haven't seen before. So I urge you to take advantage of this opportunity to do that. And it's a first step. And you are always in the driver's seat. You're always at the steering wheel. You always get to decide when you're, ready for the next step. But we have a wonderful community and we have amazing programs. So I would say, and if you're even just curious, if you're seeing this meeting and you're just curious, you don't have any difficulties, well, your curiosity is also not an accident. You're not curious by accident. you know, so,
True.
give in to your, honor your curiosity and explore further.
Yes. Well said. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time today and sharing all this with us. It's been very interesting and enlightening.
I want to thank you for your giveaway is really a special it's a special treat. And I love the name Soulful Treasures. I mean, when I saw that name, I just instantly melted.
Wonderful. That's what it was intended to do.
Yeah, and I just wanted yeah, so it was a great opportunity to partner with you, and I hope we will be the beginning of other joint ventures together.
Okay, Howard. Sounds great. Thank you. And you have a wonderful day. We'll see you at the giveaway.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Take care. We'll be in touch. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.